the approval of previous meeting minutes and agenda. Do you have a motion to approve the previous minutes? Sam motions. Do you have a second?
I'm second.
Kevin seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We have a motion for the current agenda.
I'll move to approve the current agenda.
Okay, Sam, or these motions. Do you have a second?
Second.
Spencer seconds. All in favor say aye. Okay, motion carries. At this point, there's nobody listed on public address. We'll move on to treasurer's report for December financials.
So it looks like that came in around 1 o'clock today, so I haven't had a great opportunity to dive into everything. I did meet with her yesterday, we went through some checks. She had some questions about what should and shouldn't go, and that was pretty much, and then I sent some more checks and that's basically it.
I did have a chance to look through it. I didn't see anything. One thing that threw me off slightly was ref pay. I know she pulled that for tournaments, ref pay during those times.
No.
It felt low for December. Yeah.
So when I made the withdrawal, I did the 12,165 or something along those lines, and then the 500 for the jamboree. So then I just need the cash and give it to the jamboree moms to buy the raffle, but they're separated out on the. So if you go into that account, you can. She
Yeah.
might have missed it.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
For December, because we had this work tournament, so and then whatever other home games we had in December, the ref pay was in that bucket was only like a few $100. So I didn't know she.
Yeah. Okay, that might be in the wrong one.
I do have one question. Are we still expecting club sponsorships? Or are those all?
I think kind of noticed that too, but it went year to year, and unless you went deeper, there was only like 5,300, I think, somewhere around there, as opposed to the 7,000. I think we were expecting to be.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was all covered. I guess I can double check with you guys let me know this things else is I'm seeing.
I don't know, but I did see what you're just talking about, where it was a little lighter than what we had anticipated. But I didn't know if that was just because it was December and some got paid in January, maybe. But if you could check the date and see if everything's covered,
I think they all got paid in December, so well, that's what we've done.
then we're probably missing one or two.
Or it ended up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The Zamboni driver pay for not last weekend, but the sewer one. Sounds like Curtis isn't thinking. Curtis already missed a couple of it, so we need to look at what we cut those checks for, the Zams. So we need to look into that. I don't know if it was
checks were entirely too long in my purse. See for Christmas.
Is that where that 15
So
Zams
it
are
might
hiding
have
at?
been that, like, I might have had to check in my purse, and then, so he has it now. So I was
Okay.
gonna get with it and just make sure that was the money he was talking about.
Yeah, I meant to ask him tonight about it, but, and then you have the figures for this coming, for last weekend's.
Yep, and I presented that to her yesterday, so she was cutting checks. I was just gonna, before I said.
So I have still there. Yeah, that's for game sheets. But they still.
So that all checks out then if you had his check.
I was mentioning 4 exams, Curtis 36, and Brian
Brian, it just
One.
matter which she think.
See that, just found there was 2 that was missed.
Do you have the new plug?
So there was a weird, they did a practice or something when the Dickinson team missed, so they come off a shift where they were cutting ice at, and it was just ended up being weird, and they had to do something canceling again tonight because of it, so.
We should.
Right there. Okay, so we have a couple questions and we can get back to this on, but other than that, we have a motion to approve the financials, or do we want to wait until Okay.
if there's anything we'll make changes and tell you next meeting. So I'll move to approve the financials for December.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Lisa, do we have a second?
I will second.
Okay, Kevin seconds, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, to my knowledge, there is no current safe sports that you're unaware of, no updates from Jennifer. So we'll move to team updates. Do we have anything there from the hockey committee, specific team updates for Ryan? Is there anything on the hockey committee side?
Outside of the suspension that you rolled out this last week for some base conduct,
Scott has not said anything yet, usually get all of those, so, but if you know about it, let's just make sure that it's taken care of, and then let me know, and I can tell Scott, we have like one game.
2 games, yeah.
Oh, whatever, as long as they've served it, before Scott gets them in, I can let it know that it's been handled.
I'll forward you the information.
Okay. That works, and then, looks like we're going on to the hockey director.
Alright, for starters, just so everybody's aware, I will be leaving on Thursday. I'll be back late Monday, headed out to Michigan for a coaching co-op with the National Team Development Program. As far as things that we've got going on, we got our 8U, 6U game nights are in progress. There's been some tweaking of some things to try to kind of streamline the process. We'll have 6U out this week by the sounds of it to try to get them some game touches. Going to be getting our next hockey development committee meeting scheduled here shortly. Going to use this weekend's theme to kind of build off of. Bringing Aaron Pelton in as a guest speaker to try to discuss a little bit about our coaching interactions with referees, parent interactions with referees, what's acceptable culture, what's not. Try to kind of get ahead of this before it gets any worse than it already is. We've got all teams set up in Huddle now. IHS, we're utilizing 23 out of 26 accounts currently. As far as the summer camps and clinics, where as I'm getting them finalized, I'm getting everything uploaded on the website. I know Mario's got 2 camps locked in at this point. The high performance dates for North Dakota Amateur are up. Still working on the details between pro and plant hockey. One of them needs to move, but working on that. I've got the hockey director from the Columbus Junior Blue Jackets and Ohio Battery interested in coming out from the camp. So it's looking like we'll be able to get him out probably in replacement of Sean from iTrain. By the time I had everything turned over to me on that one, they were booked up for the year. Go Robert's looking good. I'm just working on hammering out the dates there.
With Huddle, is that, do you upload the games for every game this year, or are we just doing league games this year?
So if there were games that had already taken place at home, I started every coach off by getting those all uploaded for them and going through the process. If I'm having to upload games for every single team, home and away, that in itself could turn into a full-time job pretty quickly. So I delegated all that to the coaches who should delegate, uploading to the parent or assistant coach or anything like that and get it submitted off. One of the other things I want to do when I get back is set a town hall up for the parents to kind of go over the same topics that I'll be talking to the coaches about. I think it's pretty evident from my seat that there's some cultural issues that are affecting the environment as a whole and the kids' environment. So I want to try to get out ahead of those and have a little bit of a Q&A and everything like that. trying to cross off the list at this time, going back to this previous weekend. I already got that at Dor Nielsen. I know that USA Hockey was rolling out a green band initiative for the junior officials. And I thought that any visual aid that we can have to kind of help bring awareness to the issue would be good. Basically what it was is any officials under 18 would get green bands regardless of whether they're lining the game, reffing the game. That way parents and spectators all know that the kids are under 18. It gave us some nice advertising material that was rolled out in Mid-Am. According to Thor, they don't have any intent of rolling that out in North Dakota because they believe that all officials should be treated equally. So.
Anything else? Any questions for Brian? Committees? Okay, committee update. Spencer sent an email. Not a ton on there. Just want to summarize real quick.
Yeah, we met once since the last board meeting. Addressed some coaching and conduct issues that were going on. Some issues to improve things there. Brian brought up the band culture stuff and specifically locker boxing. That's something else we kind of discussed a little bit. I think we're going to need to discuss on it a little more. Trying to get an idea of what the best messages are out there. Town hall meeting. My thought was we're putting up flyers and posters like, hey, these are the consequences. These are downstream effects of this kind of behavior. That's my thought.
I think I'm building on that concept is probably using the Mitchell Miller example as a, hey, this is what can happen when you're 15, 16 years old and you think it's funny in the moment and it ruins your entire life, pretty much. For those that aren't familiar, he was slated to go to UND, he's been drafted twice, he's been picked up on the PTO, and he is the only player in the National Hockey League that is currently under a Gary Bettman exclusive ban based on having bullying in an eating journal case in middle school.
Outside of that, we got the recommendations over for first aid kits, and I'm on meeting later this month.
I believe this is the
The first aid kits in order.
Yep.
Is there anything else you guys want to think to us to discuss? It looks like Brian's got a list for us to conquer, but there's a few other things that are put on the issue you guys that are going to be covered.
Rather than having a permit now, I think there's some things in the off season like welcome packets for new players, new coaches, new families in the community, new coaching staff. We've got some new coaches this year that probably could have been handled better, better and in years past. But what's the expectation of what do you need to do, what do you need to have, things like that, or can obviously pertains.
Yeah, our last hockey development meeting, that was the topic. We brainstormed with the coaches, got together roles and responsibilities, head coaches, assistant managers, team managers. It's just a matter of formalizing the document and getting from you guys for approval in the off season. That way that's there. I know Kendra and I have a welcome packet from our previous association that I've been taking tons of notes this season on because obviously I'm not familiar with the process going through for the first time. So that should be teed up, ready to go about the same time, tweaks that are specific to our organization. That way we can get better information out to the parents.
So I have a question though. Can I go revert back to these first aid kits?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got each individual coach's first aid kit. So each team will have one that the coach needs from. Then I got one for our concessions.
Okay.
Did you guys transfer those ice packs?
I did order ice packs
I got
separately.
those.
Those will have to go in separate. And then I also ordered
paper systems that we, what's the intent to educate these kids about hockey?
Coming from the disciplinary committee side to the hockey committee is we would like to possibly look into an emotional management training for our coaches.
Oh, yeah, is there a specific course you guys have?
Literally just talked about it 30 minutes ago, so just got out of our meeting. So
USA Hockey uses a company called HAP, and they will come in and do presentations.
okay,
A lot of good stuff.
okay, that's something that we think might be beneficial to the clubs as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of going over what you're going at, like, it'd be really nice to start diving into that stuff, but I think we've got a lot of housekeeping to do on the broader issues of discipline and culture before the online stuff is super relevant to making a difference. That's kind of why I'm getting things back to the back.
Okay, anything else for the hockey committee?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, budget and finance. Okay. Okay, tournaments. Doesn't look like there's a lot of light to fill those 10U, 12U remaining spots. There's 3 on 10U, 1 on 12U, so it'll be a different format because they both have an odd number of teams that'll be navigating here probably the week of the high school tournament. That week leading up to it is when I'll do all that. As far as last week goes, overall, busy. I think a lot of good experience. There's a few handful of issues that we had to navigate between, parent effort from other teams. We had a lot of good effort from our team, those who had help. Parent effort from other teams there was some, but we were able to navigate what we needed to there's some issues from out-of-town teams / coaching staff, some in-town rentals, things like that. So I think we handled it pretty well given the circumstances. From a financial standpoint, last I looked, we're sitting around that $67,000 to change in registrations. However, due to one of the Bismarck banners So that's where I'm at with that. I think overall, the first 3 weekends have been financially well between concessions, merch, raffle, silent auctions. I think I'm averaging about 4 to 5 items on selling each week's ratings, and he says we 20 total. So yeah, pretty good. After being a little spendy, but I'm not too upset about it because we're doing a lot of mentoring, a lot of youth, trying to getting them used to the speed and used to making calls, being confident in that. So I think Eric's done a great job about trying to navigate that. So he's got some extra that we hope, but I think it's still better than the long term.
I can't tell you, I was at the War Road tournament this last weekend, and the majority of the rest are 12U girls, which is great. So I think the fact that we have that mentorship program speaks volumes, and just even so there's something.
So anybody got anything else for me on that side? Okay. Okay, we're gonna do equipment and jerseys, which we don't have represented in the room at the moment. But I have not heard anything from Jennifer. I know we got our socks and jerseys in, and I have not heard from her since in our meetings in that regard. And at least we got the quick change fully in here for AU in. So that's here, then we got some more pucks in. Did Carol still don't need more? So if we need more, I think we have.
Is he going to?
He said he was going to, and then when I found out you were in yours, he said that he'll hold off for right now. So
Which he could always donate money for us.
on the equipment side, do we have an equipment manager currently?
The equipment, is that being overseen by Jennifer?
Jersey.
I believe jerseys is the only thing that Jennifer and Pat have on.
Okay, so Brody was in charge of that.
Brody
was in charge.
So we tried to get the grade sign.
With Katie, who's working with Katie on the equipment portion. So yes, that's why I said we don't have to grab this.
Okay, so we have a volunteer to chair that.
Is she-
As a board level, like, who's gonna oversee this, is what I'm saying. Which one of us must be responsible for
Like, I guess the real question is can we get Katie an assistant and she can just report to us during the meeting or whatever? Because it'd be nice to have the equipment picked up before turn-in inventory so we know what we have. Because there's a lot of equipment that probably needs to get trashed currently that's no good anymore. So we know we need to get over the summer for.
Can we ask, see if Jennifer pass lots are maybe they just help each other, maybe tracking. She's already doing it largely on that side.
When I talked to Jennifer, she was told that they didn't need to come on the equipment side. And I don't think the equipment
I'll
was in touch.
talk to Jennifer and get that figured out since we know that we're at. And then I'll
So your turn.
Sure.
Thank you for volunteering.
Hey, thanks for volunteering on that. Is there a possibility that by the next meeting we get to see an inventory on that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 4 weeks away.
In the digital form.
Yeah. I mean, if Katie gets 2 people to help her, I mean, it shouldn't take more than an hour or 2 to put everything back and then 3 or 4 hours to get it all inventory. It'd be a lot easier to inventory now.
I will be back.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, concessions, look like they're asking for,
We can actually just take that off because, it's already been bought and paid for, and donated, so.
okay.
Can you give a shout out to
Kathy.
Donated by Kathy, thank you
Thank you.
Kathy. Is there anything else that Jake's got going on concessions concerned?
No, Providence House has been stepping up
mean, if they're willing to do that, like, so we'll just touch on that. It saves us a little bit of money on that. And we just have that.
Yeah, I mean, probably, they love coming and helping.
Yeah, and then we could talk about a bigger potential donation that we gave last year, that we weren't sure and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do they only come clean after weekend?
Talking about our current cleaning crew.
Yeah, after weekend.
They come Mondays and Thursdays every week.
Well, I'm saying after,
They-
like mid-tournament.
So they come during the day, they'll come in the mornings and afternoons and they'll do garbages for us. And then they'll just spot clean if they see garbages. But Sundays, I don't know if they come at all on Sundays. I think it's just Friday and Saturday because Monday mornings are here.
The only reason I asked is junior girl kids said they came in Monday and they were so trash.
Yeah, I don't think they touch a lot for those unfortunately.
They didn't touch the locker room until Monday?
They did after. The kids came and got their beer off in the morning.
Oh, yeah, they probably didn't, yeah.
During the tournament, like, they don't come.
Like,
No, I
trash
know.
from usage over the weekend, like, we need to talk to our own coaches more about, hey, like, when we're using the room.
No, I think the trash can was like overflowing, like just.
Okay, so yeah, they don't do locker rooms during the tournaments.
No, and I know the 19-year-olds like towels in there and that you and we could talk to our coach, we have one team, and most of the teams here, so it's really challenging, you know, we can ask them to be respectful. Phantoms, every year it seems to be fun this weekend with a lot of maintenance cleanliness.
It did send me a picture. Cleaning company did send me a picture of a stack of the hooks that got them off the wall this weekend. They got pulled out of the wall.
Yeah, so, I mean, but realistically, I would prefer, I mean, if they're gonna do that, they're here, they're not gonna cost us any extra money, so whatever we start doing it on the back end, but if we're paying them to just come do garbages, which I know parents were running the garbages if they're willing to. When we had all the wall do it, they were going to locker rooms. If they would come here in the evenings after the tournament, and teach them on it and actually clean.
Yeah.
Some thoughts on next year.
Sure. But for the time being, I think we can put this down to, if that's what we have decided we're gonna do, at least in my opinion. Just we're not coming in for the additional needs we send them, as even if like the late ones are doing the late nights, which you can see, we're gonna go down a lot of this is trash, it's great.
Yeah.
And we have a big combination in March, or
She also has to do her.
yeah, so, do we need to, I mean, that's optional, but do we need a motion on putting that in, and coming for the rest of the year's tournaments, and just having private sites do it, will help?
I don't think we need a motion on
Because it's an optional add.
that. Yeah. We'll just check into it and then if anything, we can have a special motion and add it to the next one. But I don't think we have.
Go for it.
So you, bro.
And Kevin.
You're only gonna be here a couple more months. It's you, bro.
Okay. Fundraising, marketing. And then,
We'll have a big weekend for the Jamboree.
what's that?
I said we'll have a big weekend for the Jamboree if anyone wants to come.
Okay, nothing there. Kevin, anything before we get to the Zan round?
So I'm keeping some more matrix to see, kind of tracking some items. We changed 2 Zan blades. We had over 200 floods since the last meeting. We have the Dakota West logo was installed over New Year's break. Thank you, Brian. We trained 1 new Zan driver, certified, Nate Hill. We have the rendering for the 530 Zam ready for approval and a cost on it. We use 1,680 pounds of propane or 48 balls. Since last meeting, we changed one skate sharpening wheel. The community rig temps have been modified due to discrepancies in the IR thermometer. And we, on Thursday at our facilities meeting, again, we're going to check to see how well those did. But it seems like the rink is staying the temperature it's actually supposed to be. Like, it's not taking 20 minutes to freeze. So, it seems to be better.
Community was a little iffy, I would say, on Saturday, Sunday for sure.
Okay.
That's good to know, because I'm literally pulling the data logs.
We were putting the pegs were in over there, and at least the figure skating.
So with those melt-in pegs, it's super important on those tournament weekends where they're just getting loose the whole time. You need a bucket of warm water in the penalty box, and they need to get dropped during the resurfacing of warm water so they can melt back into the ice when they get reinstalled.
Is there a way we just get some bands and just get more pegs to put in on that side? Or?
No, if you would need to at this point, there's no inserts over there yet. You would be talking about tearing up that concrete port to put in new inserts for the marsh pegs. We only installed it on one side.
Okay, can that be reported, or can that be reported to facility committee on that? That's kind of an issue. Standing water, right? It's good for I haven't seen it be an issue like that for like that big certain amount. Everybody's getting the articles playing, they're on West Line every time. Our goalie push
I think
out.
our goalies are big play.
I know we ran into it during our 3-on-3 tournament because we were in an alternate location. And when I made that correction in the day 2, no issues the next day, you can put our kids.
Okay, we'll take a little look at that and see if we can't change some time. We also changed the community schedule due to the home skate. We weren't drawing down early enough during the day, so we were never actually getting down the temperature that we wanted by the end of the day. So we will be looking at that data today on Thursday as well to see if those are fixed. And so hopefully the community is in better shape than it was. The Rough Rider is going to be installing first aid kits behind each set of benches, in like the, what do they call it, where the scoreboard's at, and they're also going to be installing one right there next to that fire pole on the inside that's kind of around the corner, as a facility, like as a required kind of item. So kind of inside but out of sight, so that not every single Band-Aid is used every single week.
Maintenance plan for that?
They don't have a maintenance plan for it yet, but we will quickly get one as soon as they're installed. I'm assuming that the maintenance plan that they have for their first aid kits now is they order their own stuff. So we're going to have to probably look at it the first month and how much do we go through and have them replace that. I'm sure it's going to be Band-Aids. And I have no So, yeah, that's something that will be, once they get them here, we'll get a whole plan together with them. So, but that's on, they are gonna get 3 new first aid kits, the big, like 3 tiers. Soon, upcoming items that's gonna happen this month, we're gonna do oil changes on both SAMs, blade changes on both SAMs, and then edging and conditioning both rings because they are in severe need of it. So, anybody who wants to volunteer to come help edge and that, we'll take them. So,
Respirators?
you don't need a respirator. Another concern was about disinfecting the entire building, since it seems like about a third of the entire club is sick right now, and a third of the entire school system is sick right now, and there's a lot of coaches that are out right now. So, your guys' thoughts on having Divine Kingdom or the Rough Rider come in and disinfect literally everything?
I think this will do over Christmas break.
I don't think we did it.
It might be better if we start aligning there too. You know, like we need to be on Christmas break weekend. That way we don't go into the season.
Yeah.
And then I said it's not bad, but it's.
Yeah. I was wondering if we wanted to see if either Divine Kingdom would want to do it, or the Rough Rider would come through and spray everything on potentially Friday morning. Yeah, I'll get a price for both.
I'd also look at how much one of the fathers building at night.
Yeah,
Like fog machine fogger or like applicator fogger?
Yeah, just get a price.
Okay. Okay. Other than that, the exam wrap I sent it to you guys yesterday. The design for it, 2331 installed. And that's a similar look to, it's what did he say? Like 1,700 for it plus 500 to 700 for install. So, similar to the other design, it's a lot of red. We went bigger on the like logos on the bottom, whatever, kind of be easier to see because you can't really see the other one. It's just really similar. Red and gray, white, call it good.
And then
You don't like it?
Well, it doesn't matter what I think. Because all that matters is if there's an actual maker.
So, yeah, I don't know who to go to for that.
I can get in contact with Justin. He normally needs me
Okay.
there.
Okay.
We want a motion to approve the Xanadu pending person
I
action.
think we can approve the price and whatever it ends up looking like.
Okay.
Let's approve the Xanadu wrap at that price and then the design pending. Versus. You have a motion for that?
I will motion to approve 2330 or no more than 2,500.
I got one more question. Does this get split then with the operating center? Okay.
This is our example.
It's a, oh, okay, it's 100%.
Because it's fun to look on the we should add it on in the first couple months of maybe doing this realistic base. That's how you pay for the advertising. So that falls on us.
So I will second this motion.
For no more than 2,500 pending approval by first.
Okay, if you have a motion by Kevin, second by Lisa, all those in favor say aye. Okay, motion carries.
I have nothing.
And Lisa will, maybe Justin, get that taken care of. Discipline committee.
Did you have the new? Sorry.
Yeah, so I sent the grievance form we put together. Is there any questions on that or? Okay, and I think what we'll do is we'll attach that as and then an automatic reply to that email that if there's just come up, please fill it out and then it can be directed to the appropriate.
So we need to send out some sort of communication that this is the new.
That's what she's saying.
And then I also emailed over like the process or like where it should go. Should they see that? Yes, that right there. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of right. Oh, that, yeah.
Yep, and then I just wrote on there that, this was in Lisa's updated handbook, when we pulled it out from, just kind of agreements for all that for training, on the website. Fill that out, we had it, because topics were updated. Copy too.
Did you do something with that, Sure?
Yeah, the only thing, and I can't remember, because I was at home, if the hockey committee, or is that what I
We
don't?
need to add that.
Okay, that was the only
That's
thing.
a good one, I missed that on.
Yeah, like,
We'll add the election.
I forgot.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's pretty good together. Yeah, it's pretty good. They don't want you to hang in the balance for 30 days. My experience.
You guys must just have less discipline than they did. Always 30 days.
Yeah, it's been pretty quick. Oh, you don't see that much. Launching 2 and 10 is not bad.
Okay, so I think we are just waiting for approval of the form.
Yeah.
So I will move to approve the agreements form.
Okay. This is a motion to approve the agreements form. We have a second? Second. Okay, Spencer seconds. All those in favor say aye. 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 Motion carries.
Other from the committee is that we've had just a couple of things we met on last month. The one we just met on where we are suggesting no disciplinary action at the time, but we're going to be pushing it to the hockey committee as a potential option to train coaches. So some training, some coach training on that. So we'll discuss it another time, but that was just the meeting we just came out of. So. Yeah, a little bit, yeah, kind of. So,
Disciplinary aspect, Steve, well, do you have anything else to add?
I think so. I think it's getting a little bit cleaned up. I know this last one that we had, I think all three of us were unanimous. We like think that it was actually handled, that the coach is not the director. It sounds like that conversation went well, where things are kind of moving forward. I don't know if the parents gonna necessarily love that decision, but we kind of felt like that was all they probably never really needed to get to us and all to see something that was handled at that point. So that's why they're just gonna go for a disciplinary thing. Just kind of always like just that person component of
Well, it's one that had to fill up to mitigate some of this.
right, because that one came in I think right before that, like kind of went to a break and like we'll get back to you whatever. So yeah, we did that in I think a good day before we kind of put that form together. So but I don't to my knowledge I haven't had anything since that. So I think we initially got that December 17th. Nothing since then.
Okay. Bylaw update, John is not here. I did give my red lines to Brian, who's been participating in the governance committee. So that's it. And if anybody else read both options.
read them today.
Okay. Probably chicken scratch and coffee questions. He says same thing with him. That's what that fall.
Yeah, I think like when I originally came up with this draft, there were a couple of ideas I threw in there, but ultimately it's the board's responsibility to kind of deliberate. Do we want to expand the board to get some more relief for you guys? How do those different mechanisms need to work in there? Just making sure that we accurately reflect the way we want the association to move forward within our operating documents. So
on that, I was going to bring this up that want to open a communication for moving from 7 board members to 9 board members for next year.
That was his president.
Yeah, and then changing for the year after that to require board members to sit on the committee before you run. Also looking at a couple of outside potential board members as
Who
well.
is this coming from? Just you?
Just the ideas that I've had that I thought.
I didn't know if you wanted to get Matt's intake on can all 7 of, because I feel like it's all 7 of our responsibilities to get together on this bylaw. So then technically that's a forum, which would mean it's a meeting. So, I mean, I would like us all to meet and get together as one bylaw before we.
Yeah, I mean, my viewpoint is that you want this thing changed in time for March. Aside from the change we did last year, is we have to let the governance committee finalize something that we can then sit down and discuss and finalize at that point. Maybe there's 2 or 3 tweaks. But that's why I'm gonna, intent is we get the lines now so that we can present it in February and then we can discuss that in the executive session.
So is it fair to give us all like a 2-week timeline, just after changes after
can't go on vacation, that's a lot.
I'm not saying it's not imperative, but we do have pilots in place. Currently, yes, we did update the board on, I think, with the version, but we have something else coming out that's actually kind of sensitive. These are not sensitive. It's not sensitive, we want to get them done by the end of the meeting, but it's not time sensitive that we don't have pilots.
Gotcha. You're right.
So, if everybody could have them to, in John Davis's hands, the government's gonna be in finance by January 20th. And the expectation for them to have it back to us, or at least, you want to bet that lawyer first? You think? Okay, so.
We were working on Ari on that. Maybe a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago, last year.
Yeah, I'll get that information to them as well, and then have,
I mean, he said he thought it was,
right, red lead version to turning by, can we say January 30th? That gives us, or we say January 28th or 26th, and that's a week to get back to the attorney, or red line for us as well, and then 2 weeks for review for our district.
As long as I got good red lines and a general intent from you guys, it should be pretty easy to massage the document.
So if you're gonna have by January 20th, the week expectation is red line version over to attorney by January 27th. This is 8 days, roughly 7 days. January 27th. Okay. Back to board review by February 2.
is Roman still part of the committee?
Second. And then anticipation for February 10th to finalize and discuss. Okay, sounds good, everybody. Red lines by January 20th. Red line version to attorney by January 27th. Back to us for our internal review February 2nd. In case we need to line red lines. And then ready for discussion by our review for 10th. New February executive session. Is that for everybody? Okay. Okay, additional items. We have a additional policy for recording that was presented to us. I read it. I think most of us have input on it. We agree that it's necessary for finalization. From disciplinary committee and yourself. Anybody have any further to add to it? Changes? Or is everybody good with it? That motion?
I don't know if I agree with having a recording policy that goes against state and federal policy that you can record pretty much anything in a public space.
So reading this.
As long as one person is aware of it and it's not malicious
So
intent.
pretty much this is saying this is protecting the children, the players without consent.
Right. And here, I mean, I think it opens us up to literally any time that a teen mom wants to make a TikTok in the freaking hallway, they need to get approval from us, right? Consent from the McKenzie County Hockey Club and the individual involved. We're going to be signing a release to record literally every time somebody pulls their phone out.
So what we had thought about doing is right away that they sign the agreements, the code of conduct, all of that at the beginning, that they would waive. There's something that we could put in there, like these marketing photos, like you're okay with it, you know,
if I remember correctly, this is a while ago, I think out of the disciplinary committee, a lot of the initial issues that we had were parents videotaping coaches at practice, and it was like, it felt a little bit like, I don't like the coach, I'm just going to sit and wait until they do anything that looks whatever, and then throw it all in the disciplinary committee.
Well,
So I think it was more practice, and if I remember correctly, this was I think it was more
100% understand, like, right, you're trying to record somebody to catch them doing something wrong.
Yeah.
But I
It's
think,
gonna be hard for
I think
parents to taking games and that kind of stuff. Like, of course, not going to teach your kid. I think it's more of some of that malicious intent, maybe.
I think from a liability standpoint, I'm surprised we're not already recording practices for internal use. I know LiveGuard captures literally everything, and in the event something goes wrong, it's like you can go right back to it. I know it's saved my previous facility. I've had coaches be actually vindicated by having that video available. I think putting a cloud over everything really can hurt more than help. That's my 2 cents.
I think we have to make precedence though that we are protecting our coaches as well, and that we're gonna stand by like malicious recording. Like we're not gonna allow malicious recording with the intent that the guy is hanging their phone over top of the locker trying to record.
I mean, if we're talking, like you're saying too, how the practices recorded for Mr. and stuff, we could always turn that on, and that would be a club that be us allowing that to happen. But saying that parents can't be in here just recording at practice and stuff, games and stuff, obviously completely different situation. But, and it states that in there. But I think we can use Quick Squad if that is something.
A lot of work for us.
Well, I think all he has to do is turn it on from start of practice to the end, and you send an NBA time for
you have to figure out what the 4 hours you want to actually look at if there's a problem.
Because I'm almost getting to the point that I've talked about at the other levels that parents aren't even allowed in here except for the concourse. Because I don't know about you, but in any of my volleyball or basketball practices, my parents were sitting there watching my practice. To me, this is like a really odd culture that we have that the parents just can't leave their kids, let them perform, be with the coach, let the coach have the opportunity with them. You know, and there's no way we can kick them out of the concourse. I don't think or block out the windows. Like that's not what it's
There's
like.
actually a basketball parent that said that there's never any parents at practice.
No, if Mr. Sweet never had parents at his practice,
The head says disciplinary too. Again, it kind of, and they went hand in hand of parents were close to the eyes and recording. And that was a lot of our recommendations were like, just get out of the link and stay in the concourse. Because
Like-
you can't handle yourself here appropriately.
I agree with not recording for malicious intent, but not recording at all anything. Because that, I mean, literally it says that, right? Parents and visitors are prohibited from video recording or otherwise electronic recording practices, team meetings, individual players without prior consent, right? So,
should
no
we
practices,
if-
team meetings.
Yeah, I'm not word in there, malicious intent. Like, you add that specifically in there, you think that decided by the disciplinary committee? Or is that still then coming back to you?
Probably, I mean, again, it's gonna be a opinionated type thing, but I mean, you kind of can. I know like when I was looking at our school board policy, it kind of says that too a little bit of, there's definitely room for what I might think is malicious, and you might think is malicious is 2 different things, but it's a committee of 3 people saying, well, we all kind of know that you weren't doing this to keep your child because your child's not in the video. You know, I think that there's probably some things with that, but, and again, maybe if you just don't have parents in for practices, that solves the problem already with some of those types of things, but.
So do you feel like should we go back to the disciplinary committee and see if we can reword this, so that it feels more comfortable?
Maybe, I mean, it kind of goes also against North Dakota state law.
We already have no phones in the locker room.
Right, we already have no
Phone
phones.
law is one thing, but then the other safe storage, you can supersede things, right?
Right.
I mean, you don't have to, just because the state says, well, you can do it, doesn't mean you can't supersede it. Some form of capacity. It always goes from the top, and it always goes harder and harder as you get down, where you're down.
Right. Right. But if you have a parent that comes in and says, well, you said I can't record anything in here, and this is a public space, and I'll record whatever I want.
Feel free to leave the building.
That's what I was saying, you are also a private.
As a public building though.
But we're an organization.
That's the other
Trust
part.
me, they make their own rules on the Rough Rider side and trespass people all the time.
It's true.
As a club, that's a group club.
We are renting this,
Expectations.
theoretically, we're renting this space, we have every ability to keep, just, if we can do it for reps, why couldn't we do it from club renting? That makes no sense.
I guess I'm just.
I'm comfortable with rewording, but I'm saying we can't do it is not for reps.
I think the avoidance of the he said, she said stuff is better, even with the nuisance behavior, than banning it all together. Like, I know that with some of the disciplinary stuff I'm working on, the contingency of having the meeting from the other party is that I'm reported. I'd rather it be that way, so that if it ever gets down to he said, she said, like, it's there, whether it's right, wrong, indifferent, whether it gets heated. Like, it's so much better to have a neutral listen to, hey, this is what was actually said versus we don't know.
Right, you can do that, but you just have to say, hey, I'm going to this
It
conversation.
has to be informed consent.
Yes, that's absolutely stating that you can't record anything, and I don't even know if I'd say written, as long as the person is aware.
If you get both people on the recording saying, yeah, I agree to be recorded.
But back to Kevin's point, the presumption in a public space is that you are being recorded.
Well, yeah, they have cameras on.
So if he's recording his room, in my case in the video, it's like, I didn't even have permission to record my child in that video. I mean, in my opinion, this is for the children, right?
Right, but I think this goes farther than. Does this go farther than just recording the kids in practice? Are we trying to all encompass no video or audio recording in the building without 100% consent?
No, it doesn't say that.
Everything about this building is on the versus cameras.
Right.
They're not recording me specifically to catch me doing something. They don't care if I'm playing a game or I'm walking down the hallway. They're just recording for the security purposes, is why they're recording, so we're always being recorded.
Right.
All this is saying, again, I'm okay with malicious intent recording, all this is saying is that we don't want you to be over while the coach is trying to coach over the glass, hanging your camera over while the coach is shouting, not because he's angry or upset, but because you can barely hear what anybody's saying 10 feet from you down on the ice.
Right. And I understand that part. So maybe I think a little bit of rewording might be warranted in this. For malicious intent or
Motion to table it, we can come back and look at it later. Motion to table.
do we want to table this and give it to disciplinary or another committee to work on?
It sounds like it's in this one.
Okay.
We'll just take it back to disciplinary. Motion to take it back to disciplinary, and we will next week.
We're gonna have to motion this one, just asking.
If we're sending the other one over to legal, is it worth having legal look over this to make sure that we're not exposing ourselves to anything that we didn't intend to?
I think it's fair.
What's the next question?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, that was the other.
sounds good. Okay, we'll table that until I'll get back.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, moving on then to coach's pay scale. I've said this 3 times. I've made some minor adjustments myself because nobody's really saying it to me. Just adjusting coaching staff adjustments that we made. Ultimately, the total in the box is encompassing of the red teams, which we don't even have this year. So the number at the bottom of 32, 625 is total less red teams, and then there's a notation at the bottom left. We'll divide, and these will divide the money up evenly in the assistant coach boxes. Who's in that coaching staff, obviously. You know, because the goal was last year, when we discussed it, and other some board members, was to just get a standardized budget. So you are affected if you have 4 coaches or 5 coaches, more so than if you have 1. It's not because of the financial thing, it's just we have an idea what we're spending year in, year out. notes are more for maybe a policy update, not necessarily. Well, we can do a lot of this here from a dip standpoint. I'm ready for that, Brian.
That's good.
I don't necessarily want to get into just not having set rates for assistant coaches, having to pay a sliding scale, and they want to have a concrete budget every year. But just, it's like you said, it's going to vary by maybe $1,000 or so if you have two assistant coaches.
Well, I mean,
Or you can have the professional, so the junior boys, they have a few coaches, or max coaches. To me, it's just.
I think we've tried it in every way possible.
Yeah.
And like we had
It's
this
hard
stuff.
for me to miss the $11.
That's what everyone asks me.
But-
Where-
I like it.
I mean, at the end of the day.
I'll go with it. I just,
Like, here's the deal, look at 12U, right? We've got people that are in that 12U grouping helping multiple teams. I think actually all but one is helping multiple teams, and 2 of them are the coach, and he's got, they're not there all the time, is the issue we have. And it's validate when a coach is there, how often they're there, how much they're helping, it's how do we help repeat, we just sort of trying to set a standard that we know what we're going to spend here. You can't have 17 coaches, then pay 17 coaches $1,000.
the only argument I can make is if you want your standard concrete budget, obviously you're going to go out 3 or 4 coaches to every team, and if other coaches want to volunteer, they can volunteer. But have it set way for every coach position. So that's what it's across the board. And if you don't have that many coaches at a certain level, then you need to cash it.
Or if you're writing a policy out, like that you're stepping as a head coach and you're stepping as an assistant coach at the highest rate to which you're volunteering for. So if you're doing multiple teams, you only get the assistant coaching rate at the highest team that you're assistant coaching, or an average of however you want to do it that way. But that way they're not double, triple dipping from the time standpoint.
All that said, I'm good with it this year. We can talk about it. We can talk about it next year.
Well, how about this?
I won't beat you up on that.
How about this? How about the hockey committee in the off-season? Comes up with a plan.
I think this is a finance committee.
No, it is from a financial dollars and cents. What I'm talking about is the policy about how he wants to go about making it so we're not constantly changing this every year. If you're gonna help 3 teams, you can pick the highest team that you're at, fine. But we never have a policy that goes in so we can make a standardized budget. Obviously, inflation will play a part of that over time. I'm talking about that part. The financing part, we can dial that in once we know. I can't dial it in if I don't know what the goal is. Right?
I'd say 3 to 4 coaches. Call that whoever was wants to help out. It's not necessary that you come help
Or
one.
maybe you could talk to the coaches in your meeting and see what their thoughts are.
And you're not gonna get,
But it might be
Every
a topic for like April.
Sure.
April's topic, once the season's wrapped up, is getting feedback on coaches pay and what their expectations of us are in the organization.
And I think that'd be great, because I know there's some, we get back for contract coaches for hotels and food and mileage. And our coaches are probably gonna tell you, I'm sure it'd be nice, I don't know if I love the money, just make it healthy. There's gonna be lots of different feedback in that regard, and I think we could go down a huge rabbit hole, but, we're 2 months away from.
no, good for this year.
Is there a motion then to approve it?
anything from the high school teams involved? If they found anybody?
They're kind of leaving that up to us to figure out. That's why I can put it on the agenda. One person that might be interested that I can reach out to, if maybe we can decide if they'd be interested in doing it. I can ask her.
Does the state or are we pay
They have their own director for reffing, and they do the brackets, they set the tee times, they pick the rings, they do all of that. And then we just have to have a gate. And that's pretty much realistically all we have to do.
Well,
That's
yeah,
right.
the tournament director has to send out all the goals and stuff, all the teams and all the information and everything. And
you reach out to her and
I can reach out to her. I don't know if there's any other ideas.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I've already took my cross my name off the India list regarding that. So, somebody's gonna have to do it, it's not me, myself.
Not Hampshire.
Go.
It's just, that's all. But I also think your kids' estates are the same weekends.
What's the weekend?
March 5th, 8th.
No, I think we're the 16th.
Yeah, it's PDA, 6th through 8th of March.
Alright, well, I'm gonna reach out to her and see if she, but if she doesn't, then I have to.
Let's start there and then we'll just brainstorm other ideas. Which should be nice and working with parents and kids. Okay, so we'll table that and converse with others and ask Peggy. Annual meeting dates. Tuesday? Fourth?
Yeah.
We did the 25th last year, right?
And then spring break is a week before. Great, okay. And I actually will be gone that week because Deacon has nationals in Dallas. But, I mean, that's nothing.
That's pretty much the same thing goes to
Yeah.
Tuesday of that extra break.
If we do a teams meeting, can you call? Yes.
I mean, I do pretty much, yeah, I mean, someone else is just gonna set up and hand out everything that needs to be gonna go and take minutes and all that jazz. I will be here.
So we want to do that or we push it to the first? Like set in stone, that way we can see week. So
To do, what are we
annual meeting.
to do minutes in that?
Yeah, so like they'll have to make sure the coaches turn their keys in, hand them the QR code to vote, and whatever they set up, make sure they get all the information and take minutes of the meeting.
I'm sure Spencer would do it.
And then you'll have,
Is it March 26th?
yeah, I think
I've actually got
the
a
24.
vacation.
I'm sure that we can,
Okay.
I'm sure that we can figure it out. It's right about now.
Well, here's my question, spring break is a week before, and reminding ourselves an actual week, show up to this thing. Instead of coming out of spring break, March 31st, so serious.
You guys can definitely.
What is it in our current bylaws and that's what leave it here, get to screen goalies, so they're not getting shot at, to protect them. Well, that's part of the purpose, but so goalies be screened while you shoot through it, so it tells accuracy, not screening. Yeah, so, but yes, it's those kind of, you can use it for stick handling around too, it's not just a goalie screening action, but it's, yeah. And they're a little heavier duty, so they're not like our PAP stuff where they're constantly falling over.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on it? Do you know what we're talking about?
Not at all.
We said that in email, right? Like yesterday? Today, yesterday. You ever seen something like that?
I've seen it. I think it'd be very useful for goalie training practices specifically. That's something.
Something that, yes, that I read there too, but I mean, there's, from what I got, there's other purposes, right? Trying to tell right out, shooting accuracy, shooting the screens, things like that. Or we could just do the team lead, start with 5, 3, get 1, and do 4 and start. See how we get utilized for 14, 45 snaps. It's a score. That's it. Okay.
I'll motion to approve it. We think that we can use them. I'm all about not putting a child in front of the net that doesn't need to be like, let's use it as a separate resource instead of saying, stand here.
Do
And
we have it for the goalies? So we can get it?
It is working itself out. I did clean it and organize it, taking notes on what's being used, what's not being used, what's been completely destroyed, what's functional. So have a better idea than awesome. I know, like, I think I'd speak for just Spencer, see if you agree with this. Having 2 more of the big heavy duty shooters would be nice. It seems like those are always back and forth. So at least 2 more of those would be awesome for coaches to utilize when we only got 1 goalie or goalies.
it'll be really nice for like Monday nights when everyone does their power skating, have a shooter bigger in.
Well, there's some things you can be said, like, hey, it's just those mass backs
Yeah.
all the time, and I don't think a lot of coaches even have that. So they can get utilized, it's just,
What the intent with practices and everything like that.
that's the same way that we started paying for that outrageous deal that we had with them. Okay, does anybody else have issues now, starting before, $600 for the snacks?
And shipping, there's a free shipping.
I don't know, so we just have to know shit about the team league 1445 plus snacks and fees.
I will want to purchase them.
Okay, we have a motion by Kevin, we have a second? Second. That's your seconds, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries. Alright, Sam, you come up with anything?
I wasn't answering
Just
the meeting.
just the thing, close, just 10 days.
Yeah, there's something at our meetings.
Okay. So, the 24th, I believe is the standard week, we got the non-league, is the week, I believe it was for maybe back a week, this one did, I'm not seeing lots of years. Is it? Would it be good to move ours to March 31st? Tuesday, a week later? We can have all, not board member Wednesdays. Sam can be there, we all can have a gym,
about the date, I was trying to write down, brain, I know that it says that we have to have the annual meeting.
Yeah,
I don't think it
I don't
actually
see-
specifies what the time.
I think it has to be within like maybe 30 days of when our, yeah, between March and April, I think it has to be. But I can't find anything in here. Oh, yeah, there we
It's
go.
on the side of the
It's the
refrigerator.
16th to the 20th.
We just,
60, okay.
we just approved, saying next year's.
And that's what I'm saying.
If I-
Years past, it was
If I scroll the verbiage on a pretty similar, way, the McKinney County Hockey Club will conduct an annual meeting at the conclusion of the North Dakota Amateur Hockey Association season at a date, time, and location designated by the McKinney County Club president. Annual general meeting agenda topics will include blah, blah, blah. Like, it's all stuff that was in the affiliate agreement, so
It's
you guys
March
are
24th to the 31st. I would prefer to give it every week, come back from certain breaks.
You just walk me from here too.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm up for the 31st. Get your final duty done.
Okay, so March 21st.
Okay, we have a motion for March 31st.
Motion for the 31st.
Nate Spencer, motion, we have a second.
Oh, I was saying.
Kevin seconds, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
I was busy reading, so what are we going with the team and light?
Team lead.
Team week. You always say that wrong. And then motion.
Spencer, motion, Kevin second.
No, I motion Spencer second first.
You wanted that motion, you wanted it.
Yeah, I wanted to spend money this week.
I don't see anything else on the docket, or reason to go to executive session.
One other thing, the old nets that we have, do we want to try to sell those, or what do we donate, or what do we want to do with some of those?
Is it pressing?
Hmm?
Is it pressing? I didn't watch anything. Just being honest. Okay.
And there was interest in people purchasing them, that's why I was,
For what now?
the old nets that we took out, because we bought new nets.
Send me an email.
Okay.
This is not.
It's auction at the,
Okay. So nothing else? Motion to adjourn?
motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Spencer.
I'll third.
Nick, aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries, meeting adjourned at 7:26.
Record timing there.
Next meeting will be Tuesday, February 10th. 6 p.m.
Really got to the first two pages, I thought we were gonna be under an hour.
We were under an hour. We started at 6:30. Oh, we started at 6. I thought we started at
We're
6:30.
close.
I tried. I couldn't